Hey, folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside and you thought that Cyril Ramaphosa was jumping off the race hustling train, here he is again. You know, he's been running his clarion call about vaccine apartheid for some time, trying to guilt Western governments into gifting intellectual property and resources and tons of money to Africa and South Africa in particular. But he finally backed off that in a speech to South Africa on Sunday, a couple of days ago, when he called it vaccine inequity. Of course, we know that's a dog whistle, as the left likes to say, for racism. But hey, he backed off it. It's not vaccine apartheid, at least for the moment. It's now vaccine inequity. But hey, he's back on the bandwagon. Listen to what Cyril has to say about the former colonizers.
To have a discussion with them. In a way where we would prefer that they do not react like, our former colonizers.
What you talking about, Willis?
Who are very quick to close Africa down.
I bless the rains down in Africa.
Because I think it is most unfortunate that they too have joined in this. We hold the view that it's unscientific.
She blinded me with science.
We hold the view that it's unscientific, and that we would have hoped that they would be a lot more scientific. Well, yeah. Unscientific, you mean things like banning out tobacco sales with no scientific data to support it whatsoever, even though it was unlawful?
And we would have wanted them to be a lot more scientific.
Cyril says they were very quick to shut down Africa, kind of like he was and is unelected, unaccountable, capricious, unconstitutional National Coronavirus Command Council from last year, shutting down South Africa on the 27th of March, 2024, 21 days to give us time to get the hospitals ready. Now, I don't get that. You had those 21 days, and here we are 22 months later nearly, and you're still in a state of disaster, despite the fact that your confirmed cases dropped to 100 or so per day until recently. Why are you in a state of disaster? The disaster is Cyril Ramaphosa and the African National Congress. Hands down, most quick to shut down Africa, just like you did to South Africa. What about the ban on open-toed shoes? We all know that the big toe is the main vector, so you ban open-toed shoes. The ban on the sale of cooked chicken. That's scientific. What about the ban on e-commerce? Here, let me get this straight, Cyril. You and Ibrahim Patel want to reduce the danger of transmitting a virus in 2020, so you don't want people to be in physical contact. I get that. That is scientific. There's data to support that. But then you ban the sale in stores. Okay, I'm good with that. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I understand the logic behind it. It makes sense scientifically. Yeah, there's reason. There's data to support that. People can't congregate. They can't be in confined spaces. They can't spread pathogens. I get it. But e-commerce? So people shop from home, pushing a keyboard, and on that keyboard, they order something that's in a warehouse, which a robot dumps in a box, seals up the box, goes down the line. Someone pushes a button. It gets loaded with people wearing gloves onto a truck. The truck goes to the distribution center, people physically separated, and then someone delivers the parcel physically separated, leaves it on your step. But you ban the sale of e-commerce. We'd like you to be a little more scientific there, Cyril Ramaphosa and the African National Congress's National Coronavirus Command Council.
Science.
But let's take a look at Cyril Ramaphosa's vaccine apartheid. South Africa is a country that turned its nose up at its first batches of vaccine delivered. Well, this doesn't work against the new variant that's come out in our country. It's only 23 or 30% efficacy. So we're going to send it back, but we're going to sell it to other Africans because we're greedy bastards. Yeah, that's their approach. How many scientific surveys did South Africa undertake? How many vaccines did they develop? How many vaccine trials for AstraZeneca, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer did South Africa participate in? None. They didn't offer anything. They offered their citizens, didn't offer their labs, nothing. And then he cries vaccine apartheid, and it works. Gullible Western corporations, gullible Western politicians. This is what they do. $711 million gifted to Aspen Pharmacare Aspen Pharmacare, folks. That's right. Aspen Pharmacare, which is a generic drug manufacturer in South Africa. $711 million, not 71 millions, not 7.1, nearly $750 billion given to this company. And the intellectual property given to them from one of the manufacturers. And the diagnostic equipment shipped to South Africa for free. They got the formula, they got money, they got the IP, and we've got no jabs coming from Aspen Pharmacare still a few months later. So his vaccine apartheid thing worked. It worked. And now he's threatening African countries and attacking his former colonizers. Hey, here's a little news flash for you there, Cyril. Did you ever notice that South Africa was inhabited by the Khoi and San? And about 1,500 years ago, the Bantu peoples who moved out of the Cameroon region of West Africa and spread across West Africa, moving east and eventually down through the Central African, down the Rift Valley, crossing the Limpopo River eventually about 1,500 years ago. They entered what is today South Africa and colonized it, displacing the Khoi and San. And even where they didn't displace them, where they mixed with them and cohabitated with them, they introduced an alien system of political governance. That's colonization. So the original colonizers of Southern Africa in the more contemporary context aren't Europeans, but Bantu peoples. So stop with the race hustling. Stop. It's vile. He's upset about the Omicron variant in South Africa taking it on the chin for the overreaction from the United Kingdom and countries all around the world. And I agree with him. They lost their minds. There is no scientific evidence to support their nonsense. He's right. But there's also no scientific evidence to support your nonsense, Cyril. And while you oppress the people of South Africa and destroy the economy and divide the society on race and class, you cry unfair when the international community does it in South Africa. I say hypocrite, hypocrite. Hey, folks, if you're not a subscriber to Chris Wyatt Africa, why don't you take a moment, become one, smash that button right down there and join us right here for the parade of political stupidity around the planet as we expose the frauds running the governments of the world. Thanks a lot. Cheers, everybody. Take care.